All right, hey, good morning. Here we are again, back at the lathe. This week, we've got a little project to do. This is kind of a maintenance project or a tool project. I have this tool parting tool that I bought from D-Way Tools. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, they put it on there. Can you see that? All right. So that. I need to make a handle for this, and I got this collet for it. I guess that's what you call it, a collet. Can you see that? Yeah, there it is. That's also from D-Way. And this fits in here like this. And it's missing something. It's a little short of something here. So I guess the solution is to make a handle. So that's what this week's project is going to be, is making a handle for my D-Way Tools thing. And being a cheapskate, I've had this piece of hickory. It's a hickory axe handle. I think I paid, I don't know, less than $10 for it. $6 or $7, I think I paid for the handle. And I just cut a section of it off because I don't like long handles on sledgehammers. I like short handles. And I'm going to take this piece here and chuck it up in the lathe and make a handle for my parting tool out of this piece of hickory. I think the cheapest way to buy a piece of hickory right now is to go buy an axe handle. Now, see if we can chuck this up. See if we're clever enough to get this chucked up. That's not gonna work. Okay, so maybe we can woodworm screw that in there. What do you think? Yeah, maybe. We're gonna try that because I can't figure out another, well, I mean, I suppose I could put the pen jaws in there, but they're really a little small. Oh man, I almost can get it in there. Oh, look at that. How about if I get it in there just like that? Look at that, it pinches itself right in there. Well, that's a good sign, we got that in there. So this is one of those things, you just find a way to make things happen. And that's kind of the way I do it. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. It just, whatever it takes to get the job done. So we'll take this here. And I think what we're going to do is make a little round section on the back of it here. So maybe it'll chuck up in there a little bit better. Or maybe it's good enough just like that. Maybe we can do everything we need to do right there. I'll just hog this down and it feels good. All right. Run the lathe, run a tool across that there real quick and sort of knock all the paint off of it or some of it off of it, the finish. And then we're gonna have to put a steady rest on it somewhere around here. And then we're gonna put a drill bit in here and drill out for this guy, and then after that we'll epoxy mount this and use this for a live center on it, and we'll turn to put our live center in, and then we'll turn the rest of the handle. Does that sound like a plan? Maybe. Let's see what happens. Okay. That feels actually pretty darn good. I think that's going to be plenty long enough. So let's get a different tool out here and we'll see if we can get some shape on this back side here. There, does that look like an original design for a handle? Kind of like it, sort of like a finial. Okay, that's plenty good. That's plenty good. So what do you suppose we got to do next? We got to make a hole in the end of this thing, I guess. How should we do that? Well, I think we got to put a steady rest on it. I'll get that out and we'll get it set up. But I'm not going to bore you with getting it set up. I'll just get it set up and bring you back when that's done. Okay, we got the steady rest set up. That's looking good. Everything's spinning true. Okay, let's pause this now and pull this out. Turn you off for a second. I'm going to make a little pilot hole in here just to get started. And then we'll put the proper size bit in there and we'll get it finished. So we're turning 400 RPMs. And we're locked down and we're just going to go real slow to start with. Okay, and the thing is, this stuff is really hard, this hickory. So I think it's going to work good for what we're going to use it for. Oh, I marked that, but I can't go that deep. I can only go to here. How about that for eyeballs? Okay, that's fine. We got it started. Okay. We're going to put a bigger size in there. Okay, we're going to put a 5/8 hole in it. Yeah, the end hole, the last hole is going to be 3/4. But I don't want to make that 3/4 Forstner bit work that hard, so I'm just going to push this in here like this. Maybe I'll take the chuck key out of there. That would probably be smart, huh? All the things they make us do. All in the interest of safety, right? Don't get the bit stuck in the handle. So like I said, and you might notice, this is not something that I've done a whole lot of. I'm not, well, I make a lot of tools, but I've never made a handle for my lathe tools. This is the first time for me. This is a first for me. This hickory is really hard wood. I mean, I'm not kidding you. That's just some seriously hard stuff. And we'll get down to our mark and go just a little bit further. All right, there's our mark, and that's a little bit further right there. Okay, I'm going to change up to the 3/4 bit, and I'm not going to bother you, make you watch all that. All right, 3/4. Bump stop that in there real good for you. Nice and locked in. Turn that on, 400 RPMs still, and we're just gonna quietly settle that in there. So as you can see, none of those bits had to work too hard to get the job done there. So let's shut that down, and then we'll get set up for the next thing. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's not very sharp. Okay. Let's have a look at that. Well, I don't think it's a work of art by any means, but it's an attempt. So we're going with the attempt. Well, that has to come out, doesn't it? How are we doing on this? Okay, well there's a handle. It's getting there. We'll keep this going. Let's put this stop because I'm getting a visitor. Alright, here we go. We'll scrape her down here, get her all trued up, put some sanding on it. Might be a little skinny for a handle. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I've never made one of these before, so. think I was turning better with this Benjamin's vest thing over here. Let's try this. We'll bump the speed up some more too. Yeah, 1400, that ought to do it. That's a lot better. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Let's put some sandpaper on it and we'll just call her good from there. Yeah, put it in reverse about 450 and then we'll just hit it with some 80 here. It's got a big flat spot on the side over here. We'll just sand that off on it real quick and kind of blend that in a little bit. Is that going to make a bit of difference? I don't think so. I know I'll probably get some grief for doing it like this, but for not getting a bigger piece of wood. But like I said, this is the first time I've turned a handle, so why waste a good piece of wood when you're learning? Just find a piece of wood and make it work. And you know, maybe I'll use this handle, maybe I won't. We'll see. One thing about it, you can always make a new one. There are no rules in wood turning. Well, there's rules in wood turning, but there are no have-tos in wood turning. You can pretty much, it's an open forum. You can do whatever the heck you can make out of it. Whatever you make is what you make, and it's yours, and it's fine. Don't hurt yourself in the process, and life's good. So when I glue this in here, I'm not going to glue it in really, really good. I'm just going to put it in good enough to try it out, because I still don't know if I'm happy with this handle, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to use some CA glue to glue this. It isn't going to, it's not going to, it's not, if I decide I don't like it, I will pop it loose and change it. Simple as that. Anyway, let me go ahead and park this. The little screen on the front of this thing is so tiny. Okay, that's close enough. Turn that off. Grab us a saw. And we'll cut this guy off here. All right, there it is, a handle. I don't know if it's any good or not. How are we going to figure that out? I guess we got to glue this on here. Like I said, I'm not going to glue it on really good. I'm just going to put it together and test it out and see if it's a comfortable fit. Looks pretty good. So something I learned about handles a long time ago. Being a carpenter for like 40 some years, I guess that entitles me to have an opinion. The grain in this wood is you got the long side and you got the short side. The grain going this way, it's going to take a whole lot more to break this handle this direction than it is to break this handle this direction. Ask me how I know. Because I've broken a lot of handles on hammers. I'm going to apply that same theory to this piece of tool steel, and when I put the little receptacle here for the tool, I'm going to line it up with the grain so that this is the top right here. I'm going to line these up with the long side of the grain. So here's the long grain, and this is following that long grain. So when I glue this, I'll glue it so that that goes into the long grain, and there you go. And like I said, I'm not going to get too carried away on gluing this because it's sort of an experiment, and we'll see how it goes. All right, well, let me get some glue and we'll dab that on there and put it in, and a couple of tracks of this CA on here. I probably more than I wanted to put on there. And I'm going to put it in like a quarter turn away from where I want it to be. So there's my quarter turn. I'm just going to stick it in here like this and wiggle it down and give it that quarter of a turn so that it lines up with my long grain all again. Right there. And that's going to make it the strongest. So just CA glue, no big deal. Now I'm sure that in the long run that's probably not the best glue to use because CA glue is a little bit brittle. And if it vibrates loose, then I'll re-glue it or I'll make a new handle. Let's go ahead and install the D-Way tool once again. The D-Way tool, parting tool. I'm not sponsored by these guys. Otherwise, if I was, they'd probably have sent me a handle. But I paid for this. I bought it. It was not a present or a sponsorship in any way. It's just a tool. So we're going to put that in there like that. We're going to tighten this one down here like this. There, nice and tight, nice and tight. Is my CA glue set up? It is. All right, let's take this little cover off of here. Looks pretty sharp. It looks pretty sharp. Let's see how good it works. Now, this might be a longer handle than is required, but that's all right. I like long handles on this stuff. It goes back to that carpenter thing again. Back to that old carpentry thing again. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this works. I don't know if you can even see that. Maybe I'll move you over here just a little bit. Oh man, you're hardly in the picture. Okay, now you can see it. You didn't see the first part of it, but you'll see the last part of it. There's the last part of it. And there it is. I think it worked pretty good. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right, we have a new tool. Now I gotta find a place to hang it. Let's do it like this. Okay, here it is. The D-Way Tools parting tool. Made in the USA, high-speed steel. Seems to be a pretty good tool. The handle is, that's our project for the week. And if you enjoyed the project, why don't you go ahead and hit the like button, and yeah, appreciate all the subscribers. Thank you for watching. That's cool. I'm glad y'all watch. Yeah, we have our monthly giveaway. The next project is going out next week, I think, and then we're into the June project. Well, actually, end of this week. Actually, it'll be gone by the time you see this video. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.